So I think we have a little problem. If this intro grabbed your attention, let's dive right in. In this episode, we'll drive all the way to North Cape and encounter our first serious troubles of the trip. Your excitement for the next video was overwhelming. I don't usually ask for subscriptions, but since many of you kept asking for the next video, quicker uploads need more editing time, which requires channel income. Your interactions and subscriptions really help with this. Next, a quick correction from the previous video where I mistakenly said parked car batteries were charged by a cable. Many of you corrected me as it's actually for keeping the engine oil warm and sometimes for the auxiliary heater. Thanks for the heads up. With that out of the way, let's quickly continue from where we left off in the last episode.
Good morning everyone. I think I got a cold a little bit, but otherwise I slept quite good. And the car makes a little bit strange noise. Do you hear that? So I got a nice pack of milk, which is actually more like a brick because it was standing on the floor right behind the passenger seat, at least where the passenger seat should be. And look, can you drink milk after it's been frozen? I don't really know actually. Well, let's try. I'll put this one on heater for a moment and we are going shopping. So yesterday evening I really asked myself, what the hell did I start with? But after a good night of sleep, not really long, but 6 hours or so, I feel recharged. I bought a new stove, I bought a new gas canister, I bought something to eat, bread, bananas. So problems seem to be solved right now and I'm preparing to go for a walk in a moment, and then after that we'll start the last piece of our journey to Tromsø. Alright, so now I cannot get the car open. Oh yeah, finally. That was on the edge because the battery in the key knob doesn't work in the cold. Let's try if we can start the car. This is me after a half an hour walk. There's nothing comparable. This is the coldest place on earth I've ever been. I went for a walk for maybe 40 minutes. And then I had to hurry to the car because the microphone battery died already and the battery of this camera was dying as well. And then I got to the car and then the key knob, which also has a battery, didn't work anymore. Then I tried to put in the key, but the key wouldn't get in. So then I thought, alright, next problem. But then in a final attempt, it flipped open with the key knob, but was on the edge. I wasn't prepared though, because I had this with me. Yeah. I'm getting prepared for this now. So today we're going to drive to Tromsø to maybe see some northern lights, and from there on we'll decide where we go next. We'll see. But for now I'm going to tidy up a little bit and then we're going to leave this place. And off we go.
After our little excursion, we're moving on in the direction of Tromsø. When I first thought about planning such a road trip, this is what I had in mind. The day has been smooth so far, but as with any adventure, that won't last. We'll face a checkpoint, the weather will turn, and I've underestimated the time needed to reach our parking place for the night. With limited daylight, I'm capturing as many stunning shots as possible. The rest of the day will be pitch dark, so enjoy these beautiful scenes as morning twilight transitions into evening twilight. I noticed that I usually get tired while driving at dusk. There are several explanations for this, but I think the main cause is the beginning of the daylight cycle, which affects your biological clock. Grabbing a bite to eat and getting out of the car often helps, so that's what I'm going to do now. Then something interesting happened. While I was the only car on this road, the traffic light in front of me turned red. Clearly I had missed the signs of the border crossing, so I was somewhat confused by the traffic light. That was until two customs officers came out of a building. They must have seen my Dutch license plates on a camera somewhere down the road.
Hello.
Hey, Kontrol.
Hello.
Where are you coming from?
Netherlands.
Okay. Have you been driving all the way now?
No, in parts.
Okay.
3-4 hours, I think, today.
Okay.
Going to Tromsø.
Okay. And why you are going to Norway now?
Northern Lights.
Northern Lights.
Yes.
Okay.
But I hope at least.
Okay. Have you been in Norway before?
No.
Or Scandinavia?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
First time. Are you working in Netherlands?
Yes, I am self-employed.
Okay. Have you been in a customs control before around work?
No.
Are you bringing any cigarettes or alcohol?
No.
Are you smoking marijuana?
No, I have nothing.
Okay. Have you had any problems with the police in
No.
Netherlands? Or?
No.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. You can try.
Okay.
Even though it's red, you can just try.
Okay, thank you. Cheers, bye.
It all ended well, because they could have turned my whole car inside out and I would have been there for an hour. We're crossing into Norway and continue our journey towards Tromsø. We have gotten ourselves a warm welcome to Norway, as the temperature has increased to -2 degrees instead of -30 degrees. So we have arrived in Tromsø, and unfortunately there's no Northern Lights today. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look for a parking space, which I've already found actually. And it will be a 45-minute drive from here, a little bit further. And there we are going to build our camp. There's showers and a nice beach. And we're going to try our cooking gear that we bought just this morning. So almost finished for the day. Also going to take a long night of sleep because I'm actually pretty tired. So let's get back in the car. 50-minute drive, but there's a beach and reviews were pretty good. So that's where we are going to stay for the night.
So we are almost at the campsite, as you can see, but this road, it's only ice. If I press the brake, the car just slides forward. And now I'm not particularly scared, but there isn't anyone going to help me if something might go wrong. It's only 4 kilometers. Okay, we'll do it. Because there's no alternative, right? It's also super windy, so any snow that is left is getting blown away. The thing is, there's just absolutely nobody here. I haven't seen a single person all the time. Yeah, with one car that was blinking to me with his headlights. Maybe he wanted to warn me, or what on earth is this place? Okay, next time I'm going to do a little bit more research before I impulsively drive to a place. I hope there's another road leading out of this place, because I don't think I'll ever come up this hill. Right, it says 90-degree turn. Where does it take us now? Oh my god, what is this? At least this road is a little bit more flat. Oh, there's actually lights here, right? Look, there's actually people living here. It's called Northern Lights parking. That's funny. Alright, so we have another problem. So the sign says it costs 10 euros. I guess you need to put it in there, but I don't have it in cash. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sleep here without paying. It feels wrong. Am I going to write something down and put it in? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's also a little bit sketchy, but I think, according to the images, it's online that this is the way to go. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get out of this, but we will see. If not, then we have at least some interesting content. Put it with the rear in the wind.
Toilets and showers were available, but the showers were closed. They are probably only open in the summer, not when temperatures are below zero. It is what it is, and I'll survive anyway. First, a long night of sleep. The first challenge of the day is figuring out how to get off this beach and back to the road. As you can see, my first attempt already failed. Let's try that again.
Come on, come on.
This needs to be our final attempt, as it's the longest possible run-up before I end up in the sea behind me. If this fails, we're in trouble. Yes, made it! Barely, but we made it. Since it's now above freezing point, the roads are in much better condition than last night. They're still slippery, but much better than yesterday. I've stopped somewhere along the road to decide where we will go next from here. And while I was standing there, this happened.
Dan loop je gewoon een rendier voorbij. Fuck. Loop toch gewoon langs mijn auto. So the plans have changed a little bit. We were supposed to go to Lofoten Islands, but the temperature will be above freezing point. There will be lots of clouds and rain, and I don't think that will be the best moment to go there. So I thought about going to, how's it called, North Cape. We are now here in Tromsø, and we are going north.
So the idea is to drive to Alta, which is somewhere in the middle, sleep over there, and tomorrow drive the second half to North Cape. But reality had other ideas and quickly overtook our plans.
So we were planning on going to Alta, but as you can see, the weather is deteriorating quite fast. So it'll be the question if we reach that today. And I was thinking about buying some wood at the fuel station and build a campfire somewhere in the forest. That is kind of the plan right now. You see, weather is getting really bad. Look, they're cleaning the roads. They're doing their best, but it's not that easy if it falls so frequently as here. Okay, let's get in a hot car.
The water tank needed refilling, so I searched for a fuel station that allowed filling the jerrycan. It's harder than you might think, because all outer taps are closed in the winter. However, I found one with a hose inside the garage. The kind lady let me fill the jerrycan for free, which was great.
Thank you. How much do I need to pay? Thank you very much.
Alright guys, so we are about 13 minutes from our parking place, and as you can see, we ended up in some kind of snowstorm. There's like a lot of snow. Days are never boring over here.
Next, it was time to buy some wood for a campfire, but this turned out to be not the greatest idea.
Geen zo'n drukte.
I found a nice spot on the map to stay for the night, but the entrance looked a bit sketchy.
Yeah, you can go. You can go. Please, you can go. I need to go there. Yeah, I need to go there.
You need to.
Yes, I'm sorry, mate.
I stopped on the road here and wanted to go there.
That way.
Daar skal du svinge.
And then left? Yes?
Svinger du ned til venstre.
Okay, and then I can come there.
Ja, den er ikke i bruk.
Oh, okay. It's a camping place for sleep.
Ja, det er ikke her.
No? Okay. Then I will drive further.
Ja, da må du kjøre.
Okay. Thank you.
The conversation was quite funny, because neither of us understood the other's language. However, I got a general idea of what he meant.
That is going to be a little bit interesting. So our place to sleep was, or is, that way. And as you can see, that is going to be a little bit too ambitious for our little car. So we have to find somewhere else to sleep, unfortunately.
Let's find something else. But then something unexpected happened. The older man I spoke to earlier was concerned about me sleeping in my car in the middle of the winter. He followed me and, using Google Translate, invited me to sleep at his warm, cozy house. This was so kind. As much as I appreciated the offer, I explained to him that I was on a road trip and had everything I needed with me. Finally, after all the troubles we've had with cooking so far, I managed to cook my first meal on this road trip. It's not luxurious, but it's a start. I did plan to make something to shield against the wind, but as the January 2nd deadline approached, I decided to abandon the idea. That many more meals may follow.
Quiet like a dove, you're whispering a symphony unknown, breathing the breeze and trying to grow.
Hear that? That means it's working. I'm going to change the direction of the exhaust a little bit. So now we are going to set the temperature. More problems. So the diesel heater stopped working for no particular reason. And it won't start up again. It says cannot find the device, so it is offline. Now I have to put all the stuff back in the car, which is all wet, of course, because of the snow. This stuff just never ends. Alright, so we have to put everything back in the car again, and we cannot use it anymore. I concluded that the heater couldn't be used outside and snow or water might have broken something. I moved everything back into the car and went to sleep without heating. It turned out to be not bad at all. After preparing for the new day, it was time to hit the road again. After only a few hundred meters, we were already stuck in the snow. Once we got unstuck, I went to the supermarket down the road and bought something to eat. The car is a total mess, because everything needs to be within reach and there are no storage compartments. Most items end up behind me or under the bed. Tidying up requires taking everything out and the weather is not great. I also brought way too much stuff, much of it unused. Then we continued our journey to North Cape. It would turn out to be one hell of a journey today.
It's not going really fast, but we'll get there. At some moments, it even feels like I'm entering the end of the world.
Driving without spike tires or snow chains is manageable on straight roads, but every so often you take a corner faster than you're comfortable with. This car tends to slide outward in corners, a phenomenon called understeer. Those are the moments I fear the most.
So the steering wheel is vibrating. Well, actually the whole car is vibrating. So I think there's some snow or ice in the rims. When we are out of the tunnel, we'll find a space to park the car. And then we will clean the wheel rims and clean the rear lights. Then we exit the tunnel. And the rear has a lot, really there's a lot. You see, it's all clogged up. Right, so fuel is full again. The pace is slow because we are not going to make North Cape today. I think it's still 4 hours remaining, and there's only 1.5 hours of the time that it was initially, and been driving for maybe 2-3 hours. So it all goes painfully slow, but we'll get there. Okay, let's go. And off we go. still on our way to Nordkapp, which is still a 1 hour and 45-minute drive. So yeah, I think we're gonna make it today. But I've also seen that there's one road which leads to Nordkapp is currently closed, and not sure about how the conditions will be there, but apparently they're not too good. Man, this is just so much snow. Unbelievable. Oh, I can't say that. These are by far the worst roads I've ever driven on.
I'm falling even faster now, beneath the North Star.
Out here, there's a constant feeling of helplessness. You're truly on your own. If something goes wrong, there's no friend or local garage to call. It's a completely different story. That thought is always on your mind during these trips. What if something happens now? What are my options? Running through different scenarios all the time helps a lot. Despite the uncertainty, this feeling brings excitement and adrenaline.
It's all worth it. Amazing stuff.
Being here, alone in the Arctic, away from the predictable daily routine, is exhilarating. Every twist and turn holds the unknown, unlike my daily life, which runs on autopilot. It's a blend of danger, adventure and freedom all at once. This is what makes the journey so captivating. When I reached the supposedly closed Convoy road, I found a Polish couple waiting by the barriers. I told the man to follow me, as the barriers were open. If it was really closed, the barriers would be down, right? We drove on, not knowing what to expect, since Google Maps showed the road as closed. My main worry was getting stuck in a deep snowbank around some blind corner, so I kept up my speed to avoid getting stuck. But this also brought a new challenge. I couldn't see if there were any obstacles around each bend. It was exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time, knowing any moment could bring a sudden crisis. Once we arrived, we decided to visit the monument. Unfortunately, there were no northern lights due to the heavy snowfall. After that, it was time to prepare for the night and say goodbye to the people I had just met.
That was absolutely incredible. That was really wild. And we need to go back tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Tonight I slept at North Cape and without a diesel heater because it's broken. And I have my blanket which is nice and warm. But in the car, look, I've got ice. It's cold. It's cold in the car.
After getting ready for the new day, I decided to walk back to the northern tip of the European mainland to capture some footage of the monument in daylight. It is past 10 AM and it's time to leave North Cape. The plan is to drive down from here into Finland and then back towards the coast in Norway to Narvik and the Lofoten Islands. But first, I'm hearing strange noises coming from under the car, so we need to check that out.
Hola, I'm doing fine. Yes, thank you.
After clearing the ice from the wheel arches, I passed a great viewpoint and decided to make a quick stop. However, the car sank deeper into the snow than I expected and I had to quickly press the accelerator to avoid getting stuck.
There's nobody here except me. Complete silence. No planes, no buses, no city, no nothing. Just me. So I think we have a little problem. I was parking the car here and then drove into a little hole, and of course I cannot get out anymore. Yeah, not really sure how we are going to fix this, but look, I drove in and suddenly drove into this hole, and this is going to be a problem. Right, so it's clear, it won't get out by itself.
Adventure, yeah.
Julia is the...
It is at least clear with the wheels. Around the wheels it's clear. Still some snow in the middle underneath the engine. But it's a little bit difficult to reach, but I think we can give it a try.
Du må hekte krokene sammen der, så
Shall I try to reverse it in the meantime or not, that it is going that way?
I think it is a good idea to try
Yeah.
reverse.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But if he can move forward maybe a little bit. Really?
He came not Rotterdam, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I live like 15 minutes below Schiphol, Amsterdam.
Okay.
Is it broken?
Okay.
Yeah.
Try slowly. Thank you. Same to you. Enjoy.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye bye guys.
Bye bye.
It's now dark at 3 PM and I've finally been freed from the situation after about 2 hours. Luckily, some amazing people came by just when things were looking pretty hopeless. And to make matters worse, we discovered there's no towing eye at the back of the car. How did I miss that? It makes sense for a 3-cylinder car not to pull others, but in situations like these, it's a real problem. It's dark now and I need to think carefully about my next move. There are no northern lights tonight because it's too cloudy. So I think we just start heading towards the Lofoten Islands. We'll find a place to sleep somewhere along the way and maybe finally make that campfire. The car is a total mess now after searching for all sorts of stuff during this ordeal. Most of it was of course at the bottom of the car. As soon as the weather improves, we'll reorganize everything, but for now it is time to start driving again. We're currently heading to a place called Lakselv. They have fuel, groceries and some great spots to park the car for the night. It is just after 4 PM and will arrive in about 3 hours.
So the same problem we had earlier has returned, which is when we accelerate to about 80 kilometers an hour, the car starts shaking violently.
Having arrived in Lakselv, I decided to stop for some junk food for the first time. It was satisfying. The sausages here are delicious. After that, I refilled the screen wash, and not because I used a lot, but to empty the can for additional space. While doing so, I almost had my camera run over by a snowplow.
There is a place to sleep, but as you can see, the snow is a little bit deep here, but right in here, this is alright, it's not too deep. But the thing is, what do we do if we get stuck in here? Because it's still snowing. What are we going to do? Shall I drive in backwards? Yeah, okay, so this feels a little bit stupid. Am I getting myself into trouble now? I don't want to put on the snow chains for only this little piece of snow. Oh, there's a car coming. Alright, that is the entrance. You can go here in reverse or not. Right, so I tried moving in backwards, but the rear wheels had a lot of resistance, and when I tried moving forward, even with the wheels still on the road, it had a hard time coming out of it. So I think it is a little bit too risky. Yeah, so this is going to be it. We're going to look for something else. Here we are. It's not really sexy, but I have been driving around for about an hour now around this town, and all the places I wanted to go to are blocked by snow, or I couldn't even find the entrance due to the snow. So I decided to put it on an industrial area, which is not so sexy, but we are going to open a beer. We have deserved that. Cheers, everyone.